7:30
Ah,
in the evening.
So we're about to start live streaming, just to let you
okay.
know. And I'm going to hit record.
7:30 in the
Okay.
evening.
So we're about to start live streaming, just to let
Okay.
you know. I just
And
have
I'm
to
gonna hit
now
record.
mute this. All right.
Good luck.
So let me welcome to the Awakening Together Sanctuary and to everyone watching on our YouTube channel. We're so glad that you're here. We're honored to welcome Cynthia Lev as our October satsang guest. She will be interviewed today by Anya Jansen and Joseph Schmitz. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and surrender the mic. It's all yours.
Thank you, Marisol. And welcome, Simcha. How do I pronounce your name correct?
Wow, you did wonderfully, Simcha.
Yeah,
You
Simcha.
have
Okay.
Simcha. Yeah.
Simcha. Yeah,
It
okay.
means it means joy. Joy,
Yeah,
heart. Lev is my name. Heart of joy, joy's heart. My given
beautiful.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome everyone in the sanctuary, people listening on YouTube, on the radio. And we're really honored to have you here, Simcha. And I will start us off with reading the bio you sent to us, so people get a brief idea about you. So here it is. Simcha Lev is an experienced independent director and screenwriter who has worked in the Israeli film industry for over 30 years. A native of Tel Aviv and a graduate of the Jerusalem Film School, she currently resides on a kibbutz, where she is married with 4 children and serves as the head of cultural and community life. On December 15th, 2018, spontaneously and without any prior knowledge of spiritual inquiry, Simcha reached a state of self-knowledge. This radical and total shift transformed her into an undisturbed state of peace. She has since written 2 books about this natural state, which she terms Inchol, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Hebrew?
Enkol, all nothingness.
Inkol or
Yeah,
all
it's Hebrew.
nothingness?
Enkol is all nothingness.
All nothingness. Okay.
Huh?
3 years after this transformative moment, she launched a YouTube channel under her name, Simcha Lev, where she consistently uploads lectures and explanatory videos on the subject. Simcha does not engage in any form of spiritual guidance, does not offer courses or meetings, and does not make a living from sharing this truth. So, you want to add something at this moment, Simcha, or?
Uh, no, I think it's very, um, it explains who the character is. Of course, when we talk about Simcha, we talk about the character Simcha, her life, and her husband who's just checking that everything is okay, that the internet is fine, because I had a little bit, uh, oh, sorry. He will say hi because he has to. He's working now. He's welding something.
Hi,
Okay.
Hello. Are you
nice to
making a
see
car?
you.
No, it doesn't work. אוקיי. האינטרנט בסדר, אבל אם אפשר לכבות את כל המכשירים שלו, קצת זה עצר. Oh.
Ah,
Now,
there we go.
this is,
She's okay?
yeah.
She's okay. Everything's
Perfect.
good.
Thank
He
you.
says he's the reason that I was enlightened because
I
Yeah,
have the light, I have the
he
fire.
had the switch.
I see. Yeah, you have the light on your head. So,
Yes,
I'm enlightened.
he's enlightened with the
Enlightened.
switch. So, okay, take the dog.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm enlightened.
תבדוק רק שכל המכשירים פה הם... זה קצת מעכב. סגור את הדלת. Yeah, this is it. So I'm married to this guy for the last 26 years, and we've known each other since in film school. He also land there, and we have 4 children, and Zal is a wonderful person, um, mainly because he acts with his hands and his deeds, and he's very active in the world, and he's doing compassionate actions in the world. So I think we are very well fitted. Um, we act together, and I like it. And so it's our lives.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. To start with, this transformative moment for you in December 2018. Could you share a little bit of the story of Simcha that up to that moment? What kind of person were you? What did your life look like? And then up to that moment of the shift. Anything that feels alive for you now to share?
I think people who knew the character, they said nothing's changed because you were before the shift, you acted very in a similar way. But the character itself, Simcha, was a haunted character, a suffering character, just like everyone she knows is now. The amount of suffering she's witnessing, and it's unbelievable. And she was the same because she wasn't. She was in the character, and but her actions were very similar to what they are after. She was very active. She tried to do her best. She was very compassionate before the shift, and but she suffered from anxiety and hypochondria and fears, and she couldn't trust the world, and it was constant suffering. Nothing ever was um, free. She wasn't free up until the moment she was 45. It's a hell of an age. She gave birth to 4 children, and she buried her mother, and she had a life experience as a character when she got to this pivoting point, to this extreme radical breakthrough, amazing breakthrough, impossible mission when you break from the most protected jail you can imagine. But she came to this point with so much experience as a person that I think she did everything she could as a character to survive, this suffering, this anxiety. It's very depressing to live in anxiety. And even when you're happy, you're never whole. There's always something missing. There's always fear. It's a constant state of noise in your head. It's only when the shift happened she realized the amount of suffering she endured, and she knew she was suffering. So up until that point, she had a very productive life because she was working, raising her 4 children. They were smaller then, and blending in her community with her family. She always was very, very active and productive. But the inside of the character was always like when you look at someone's eyes and you're not really looking in his eyes, you don't see him. Most people, they cannot look directly to the eyes without seeing themselves. You don't see the person in front of you. You don't feel what he feels. The shift allows you to really see for the first time anything and everyone. So you can look at someone's eyes and just see them clearly. And this is why this state is like sometimes you know things about people just because you look at them and you pay attention to what you see, and you really see them. You care, you notice. You noticed something small, and then you can know something. And then it's, how did you know? Of course, I know. You hinted that. You said that. There was subtle movement, and I know because I look at you, not Simcha, the tormented character, looking at herself, looking at him. Strange interaction. So I think I kind of drifted away with the question, but you said you can just be live with it. So this is the point. Up until the point, and the freedom from that point. It may look the same, the character may look the same, but there's no one suffering anymore.
Good. I have a question regarding that, and thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. The suffering of the character, the great suffering that was going on inside, but outside the world saw it differently because trying to survive in the world, right? You walk around letting everybody know how much you're suffering. This is something that myself, I can relate to very, very much so. What I'm curious about is your transformation seemed to happen instantaneously. Was there anything you were doing before then to kind of mitigate this internal suffering, or were you just unaware of the suffering?
Was there anything I was doing to relieve the suffering?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not intentionally, not I didn't know that there was a possibility of enlightenment or self-realization of I didn't know anything about this state. So I didn't aspire to reach this state. I didn't know there was a way out. I didn't know I was already the thing. But I didn't know that. So I tried just to get through the day or get through the action that I had to do and survive it. And so I used a lot of things that just grounded me. And I like, because I didn't go to a psychologist and I didn't take pills, because it's not that I'm against pills or when people need them. Sometimes they do, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to cope with my own strength. And it's like an operation without anesthesia. You feel everything, but at least you know what is happening to you. You know what you feel everything. So I tried, some because I like music very much, but that in that time, 8 years ago, I started to listen to frequency music. Like it, I couldn't hear regular music. I tried to listen to frequency music, and it didn't. I didn't know if it's helping or not, but I couldn't. I thought maybe it will help me. I did EFT, self tapping on yourself. Even though I feel like I'm going to die or everyone I know is going to die, I choose to accept myself. And it was like for 5 minutes you feel better, and then again you have to or do it again, or it doesn't break the cycle. It never did. Up until the moment of the transformation, nothing broke it. It was you couldn't get away from it. The thing that happened, so I didn't intentionally try to break free because I didn't know about the possibility, but I did try to help myself, and I did not surrender to the suffering because I knew I had children and they don't care. My 70-year-old boy doesn't care that I feel like this mole is going to kill me and then I'm going to die and they will bury me. And such a shame the children will live without their mother. It's such a strong conviction. It's a mental illness. So I didn't give up to this and I said, okay, I'll lie that everything is okay and I'll go through the motions and I'll do everything. So I did not surrender and I tried. Um, well, it was so hard and I'm so appreciative of everyone who is doing that every day in their lives, and everyone is doing that in some this degree, that degree. Everyone is doing that. The amount of suffering that the average human lifts, the weight is unimaginable. Only when it's lifted, only when the thing is free. This is the great liberation, the shock of the thing itself, the split second when you know you are this thing, and the amazement of the character. It lasts like a second, even not a second, because you are already the thing. But this is Wow. So I'm happy to say that it is a possibility, and it is a possibility, and it is a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, because you told your story I watched several interviews where you told your story, and the things that led up to this moment, and um, you shared that Simcha was always a very emotional character, really feeling everything. And the week before the shift, you had a uh, yeah, it's sort of an exam of all the emotions that could be experienced by a human being, and they were all in 1 week, and they following each other up very quickly. And after that, you emptied yourself in a long walk and conversation with your brother.
Wow, you know,
Yeah,
what a
so
story.
um, what's my question?
Someone asked if in the comments, someone
Hmm.
asked if I would say that it was a spontaneous awakening. I saw a question. This is the
Hmm.
dog. And so I can answer that yes, this is a spontaneous awakening. This is how it came about. I'm sorry, the dog opened the door. Um, like you said, it was a trying week, like the final exams and this long walk with my brother and the emptiness. It led to a spontaneous unmoment because to pinpoint it and on the timeline it's crazy because now I know or we know or everyone the time is not what humanity perceives it to be like linear like something and so it didn't happen on timeline on a linear timeline but if I can pinpoint it to a certain point of in the story of the character it's like it was in that the date like you mentioned 15 to December 18. I know the exact time it did happen. It was like a moment in time, but it wasn't because the moment it happened, the shift, it's called, I don't know how to call it, the change, the radical, unbelievable, when everything you know about everything is deleted, the entire structure, the entire vocabulary, the entire dictionary, everything, every definition you think and you define the world is wrong, and a new set uh, of definitions and understand. It's not an understanding. It's not like something was replaced. Just knowing something entirely different um, immediately. Um, but knowing not for knowing, not for someone to know it. It's not for the character to know. From this point, Simcha was a woman, 45 years old, and she went in the world and she had this belief systems. And after the shift, she had this belief system. This is not what happens in the shift. There was a woman and she died the in a paradoxical way, the worst fear of Simcha from the hypochondria of death has happened to her. She died. And she didn't care because this is the wonderful death of the illusion. It's just, it's been recognized. And from that split and moment that never happened, basically nothing happens. Yes, but in the in the illusion of interaction, now I'm talking about it 7 years later and just pointing that this thing is free from the burden of suffering of the character. And like just I want to encourage everyone, if someone believes me or hears it, that you are not your suffering, you are not your story. And I hope you'll see that directly, like Simcha did, and be free.
And what was there after that big shift? Because I hear sometimes listen sometimes to other teachers, and some of them they point to what they call a first awakening, and then they call it shadow work. For you, was there also there was one done deal in one split
No, no,
second?
no, 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 no. It's like either it happens or it doesn't. And this is what I know. And I'm sorry, when I speak, I'm very Israeli and very decisive. Okay. And so I may not seem so polite or, and there, I look, I can, but I'm not. I'm very decisive. And I can, if you ask the thing that is being expressed by Simcha. It's not a process. It's not something that you do something after it and you have to integrate it. And this all indicates that this is not what has happened. It's not the thing that is free. Because when the thing is free, it doesn't need to do any shadow work because the character dies. It dies. It's no longer there. It was never there. And it's been recognized and known. And moving on, who is that thing? Why should he do shadow work? Where is something left to deal with the corpse? It's nothing. I'm sorry, it cannot be that someone will have uh, this knowing or self-realization, enlightenment, and continue to struggle at something, at himself, at the world, struggle to deliver the message. The struggle is ended. There is no need to struggle. There's no need to deliver the message. Also, when you truly are, you know the thing, you don't have to advertise it and you don't have to fight for people to realize it and convince them that you are right. Doesn't matter. They do not exist. You do not exist. The message is everywhere. Oh, it's so much fun to talk with people who are interested in this because usually
And
my day is not consisting from this kind of like if I'll talk like that, people think, okay, she's nice and she's doing a great job as producing events, but something is off. Uh, and so it's not an integration process. It's not a process. It's an understanding. Okay, Darling. But I didn't. Okay, I see the questions. You see them too?
Yeah, yeah, I see the
Okay.
question from God. So you can't give advice on how to get there, but you can say enlightenment is real.
Yeah, of course. This is the only thing I can express. Express the idea that this is true. The idea that is conceived as philosophy, if you can think it is philosophical idea, but it is not. It is reality itself, truth. It is, and it's free and amazing. And there is a person who lives it and just lives it. As you stated, and I stated in my bio, very important, that I do not advise others or do sessions or make a living out of this truth because you cannot. You can only be like an example of living it, of being it as a person. I'm living it as a mother. I'm living it as a sister, and as what I do in my work. And it's so easy. And I work hard. It's not that when you're enlightened, so I work physically, I hurt, and mentally I work, but nothing is being done by Simcha, nothing is being done at all, and everything is synchronized and everything, and she knows what the thing is. So it's a big, big celebration, never ending celebration. then this is the state, even though I live in a country that knows war and blood and everything, and it's not easy to express the joy all the time because you need to express the sadness and to show people that you do not laugh at the story. It's like laughing in a sad movie. It's impolite.
Imke, thank you for I would imagine trying to put something into words. It's hard to put into words. Um, but there's like you said, there's an interest here um, to get an understanding of this. This community is we're kind of very practice oriented. So we do things like self inquiry and meditation and those sorts of things. And to hear a story like this, you know, an episode in the movie where it just happened spontaneously. Um, well, the mind's trying to figure it out. But to me, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating to know that in one of your interviews, I think with Angela, you talked about how it's unique. It was
Yeah,
unique because of the music. It was unique to your story, to Simca's story, and
yeah.
the way things unfolded was very unique to your story. Is there anything else you could go into about
Yeah,
that?
I know, and I feel because I didn't know this world before about the work, the hard, passionate work people do to get closer to this state, to themselves, to knowing. I really admire the will to know. It's a noble will. It's the best thing that the person can do with his life to pursue this truth, to seek for it, and to practice because I I see the practice not only what people do meditations, like I see also in religion, people practicing rituals, prayers, and so when you do that, when you practice, I can understand that there is a concept that it's like when you go to school, I will practice and I will know and I will take the test and then I'll pass because I practiced. And this is the mind thinking like a human being. And the truth is it's different because the knowledge is different. It's not an acquired knowledge, accumulated knowledge. It's a spontaneous knowing of the thing itself by itself. So it's very easy. And so you don't have to practice and you don't have to be prepared to it in the way that people try to prepare themselves or try to connect. But I do appreciate the effort because what are the options? Because I offer nothing. Like Simcha doesn't offer a way, and other than pursuing your own story and getting inside your own story, your own unique expression, your own life, and seeing how your life can be an exemplary life, like something that is so high that the thing itself connects to it in your life. This is the only thing. Other after it, you can read the question. So this is the only way it happened to the character. So she knows this is the only possible way. So I
Yeah,
believe that communities help the keeping the idea alive. It's seeking the truth. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but I'm sorry. It's not. I don't see how it helps really to connect to the thing itself. If this is the aspiration, if the aspiration is to be better, to live, to have some kind of relief from the suffering and some kind of way to cope, like meditation. So it's helpful, and whatever gets you through the night, it's all right. Just do it.
but when I listen to your video, Simcha, I do hear you offer a sort of a, not really a path, but life is the path, the things you meet in your daily life are the things that help you see truths. I think you phrase it also as try to become the best version of yourself, and not in a self-improvement way, but act in the moment in the best way possible in the moment. Could you?
Wow, Anya, thank you. Thank you very much. It's amazing because you reflect the message. Yes, of course. Because if you realize that everything is you. You are oneness. We speak about oneness. I'm sure you know about oneness and you study about it. That everything is one, right? This is in the basic of your community also. Because of God, I don't know, God is one, and non-dualism, everything is one. What we are oneness. So everything is basically you. You. You are everything. So you have to respect everything. You have to help everything. Because you help yourself. So when you do that, instead of concentrating on the character, praying inside the character, so the character will feel better. So prayers and self-concentration locks the potential of influencing on everything which is you. So like you take a small part of the oneness, you isolate it, you call it yourself, and you work on it instead of realizing that you are the thing itself. So the more you will in the boundaries of your reach, of course, the boundaries of your eyes, your possibility you can influence, the more you influence your immediate surrounding, more everything that you try to do in this world, every action is the influencing the oneness and elevates the oneness to its highest potential. And when I say become your best version, the best version of yourself, it is the best version of the expression which you perceive as you. And so oneness is redeemed by your expression. The fullest potential is portrayed by you when you do that. So everything reaches its full potential when you do everything in your surrounding, the entire thing. This is it. And then you realize it never existed, and then you're free. you know, and this is the game. Okay, I try to say that it sounds crazy, maybe, but this is the reason why people they don't understand that giving and acting as if everything is sacred and everything is you and you need to serve everything and you need to help everything. They don't get that they help themselves in another way. They are expressing themselves in another way. This is why wars are so absurd. And this is why everything is so absurd. Every kind of cruelty is but it needs to be done so the character can choose right from wrong, express noble moral ideas, and act with the very physical kind of way to demonstrate it to itself. There was a question, maybe
Yeah,
I didn't have
yeah.
time to read it.
I can read it out loud. How do you use the mind now? Is it more a tool, and is it quiet
So when people say
or quit?
stop thinking, I don't think anyone can stop thinking because thoughts are like this hand. They are physical things, and they have the same realness in them as the physical body. The body is not real, thoughts are not real, and everything is seen through when the moment of self-realization occurs. You understand that you're not the body, you're not the thought, you're not the emotion, you're nothing. But it doesn't mean it stops. Like the body seems to stay, so the thoughts seems to stay. They are acknowledged as what they are, nothing, and they have no influence on anything. And when you use the mind I don't know the word mind. There is no one who has a mind. There is not. It's not a character, Simcha, who has a mind and she uses it or not. It's very misleading, and this is why people they have hard time to understand that what they see in front of them. When I try to explain, of course, I don't go to the elderly people I work with when I bring them lectures and fun things, and I say these things. So, and I'll say that they'll think I'm crazy. But when I can talk to people like you and say, when you look at this thing, it's very, you think you see a woman, you think it's a simcha, but you don't. You don't. This is not the case. So there is no woman here. She has no mind. She doesn't use the mind. She cannot use the mind. Who will use the mind? Who will use it for what? In the illusion of something, she has to use something to plan something. So it's all the mirrors, the mirage, the mistakes. It's a game of mistakes, and when you cut the cord, everything is being seen through, and you nothing left. So it may appear as a character who has a mind and plans. Tomorrow I'm going to see my uncle to visit him in Jerusalem. But no, there was never a character. She has no uncle in Jerusalem. She is not planning to see him. This is truth. This is what happens. I know it's hard to grasp, but this is my answer.
To use a movie metaphor, Semka, which I know you love movies, and the Oz picture behind you, this is that similar to when Toto pulled the curtain back? They realized
Well,
that the man behind the curtain was controlling the thing that they thought was the thing, right? The end of the
yeah,
illusion.
yeah.
And yet Dorothy had some traveling to do, supposedly. She, still was in the body and person and
But
stuff.
she was always at home. And when you see the movie, she never
Mhm.
left her home. It was
Yeah,
all in her head.
yeah,
All this voyage, she was sick in her bed. No, she
yeah.
stayed. Yeah, the moment of knowing, it's exactly like this is why they say the lifting of the veil. I read about it. The lifting of the veil. The moment either you know or you don't. It's the famous story about the rope and the snake. You can think it's a snake. The moment you see it's a rope, you can never mistake it again for a snake. You could never. You know, you saw the rope. You saw through the illusion. This is why I said there is no integration part. If you continue to think it is a rope, you didn't see, it is a snake, you didn't see, the story about it's like an ancient Indian story. So you see the illusion through the illusion or you don't. And when you see, it's as simple as oh, oh.
Oh,
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 Hey, Simcha, it also, for my mind, it's still really hard to grasp this. But it also reminds me of a funny quote by Nisargadatta Maharaj, and I would like to read it. It's about the body not being real, and it's a little conversation. And Maharaj says, "This body appears in your mind. In my mind, nothing is." And then the questioner says, "Do you mean to say you are quite unconscious of having a body?" And Maharaj says, "On the contrary, I'm conscious of not having a body." And then the questioner says, "I see you smoking." And then Maharaj says, "Exactly so. You see me smoking. Find out for yourself how did you come to see me smoking, and you will easily realize that it is your I am the body state of mind that is responsible for this I see you smoking idea."
I love this man. Oh, I love him so much. Oh, I wish everyone could just read his book and just know him. Because after the self-realization, I was looking at people who state this truth, and I was so relieved to see that there was someone who is speaking like pure water, like amazing truth. He's just a wonderful character. And Simcha was a smoker. She stopped smoking 6 months ago. Was a heavy, heavy chain smoker. And she managed to quit, but it's the same thing. You think she's smoking, but Nisar Gadata Maharaj is the real deal, the real thing. If I can recommend something for someone to learn, it's this amazing character just shared and tried and tried and tried to explain that things are not what they seem to be. Simple as that. It's just not what you think it is. Who you think you are, what you think you see, everything uh, is just not, it is concepts rooted so deep inside something, but as long as it is rooted, it needs to be there. So there is a great value in accepting the state of the character as it is right now, because objecting to the state uh, is not helpful. What you can do is just accept that you now don't know or not connected directly, and just play with the idea that it's not what you think. And maybe it will give you some kind of relief when some suffering arises. You can try to laugh about it in a humorous kind of way. But it's not, I see you. And you don't have to really believe that. Just play with the thoughts, play with it, laugh at yourself that you believe in it or you don't, or make fun of yourself. Just don't take it so seriously, I think.
Speaking of Maharaj, thank you for that, Simcha. I love that.
Mm.
There's a well, there are teachings and teachers who point to the fact that the world is not real. In fact, Course in Miracles, which is one of the teachings that some of us use in here, talks about um, this is the central. There is no world. This is a central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it. Each one must go as far as he can, let himself be led along the road to truth. And then Maharaj, Nisargadatta said, treating everything as a dream liberates. As long as you give reality to dreams, you are their slave. By imagining that you are born and so, you become a slave to the so and so, become a slave to the story of Joe, become a slave to that. This sounds like what you were communicating with us very much.
Yeah.
And what
Is
seems to be
what
happening here is kind of a toggling in and out. It's like um, the imagining is so deep rooted, I guess, so habitual. Hearing these words help, contemplating these words help, and then listening to you share with us, it definitely helps the transmission. So I appreciate that. I guess
I
what
guess
I would,
I
uh,
I guess I'm alive because I know people can believe what I'm saying or not. It's up to everyone to decide. If you think I'm the thing I'm claiming I am, but the thing is alive, and the smile is. I just want because Nisargadatta is wonderful, but he's like dead. Of course, he's not dead. He's never existed, and he was never separated, and everything. Okay,
Mhm.
but he's not here. So
Yeah,
this is here, and it's very
yeah, yeah,
powerful to know that someone is really claiming that, and the character, my character, Simcha's character, um, she's very, as the years go by, 7 years from the moment of
mhm,
this change, it's more powerful for she delivers the message in a more hard way, because in the beginning she thought maybe people will go crazy when she speaks, and the ideas will be too much for them, but now she realizes, and nothing she says even shakes the little, the so deeply rooted. So as the years go by, she's more strong in her just shouting it that this is the thing and it can be liberated in the life of a person, a regular person that lives with his family and just goes. I go to the supermarket, I put gas in the tank, and it's free. It's just walking around free. And everyone who lives near me or my children and my husband, everyone, it's much easier to live like that because it's now you don't add suffering, add psychological suffering, and you calm everything down and you lift everything. It's just nice. It's fun. You don't have the fear because you know nothing is real. You know the world is not real. You know the troubles are not real. You know that and if something happens, you laugh. You know you can take it in a way, and then the other person he's relieved, and then you can treat what is happening in a more calm, nice way, and everything is much more. It's free, uh, and so she claims it to let people know that it is happening. It can be, and it needs nothing, and it wants nothing, and it is nothing, and it's just in the field of opportunities and expressions. It can be expressed.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So in that sense, and that yeah, the world is not real and treat everything as a dream. And you live in Israel, which
Huh?
is a very active place for worldly stuff. And so, can 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 you share with us what your experience was when you were a couple of years ago, and you shared a little bit about what's going on now with the peace breaking out. Did you say peace breaking out?
It's
What was it?
breaking.
What was yeah? What was it?
We're very suspicious country. We don't. We have to see that. We don't believe peace.
Yeah,
After all this bloodshed, we don't believe anything. People are so people after 2 years of war, and they said that the hostages will be freed 2 days ago. And when I was walking around and talking to people, I was saying, okay, everything is going to end, the war is going to end, the hostages is going to come back. And everyone I talked to said, no, I will not believe it until I see it with my own eyes. And then I realized how deep the fear, the trauma of people uh, is. People are severely traumatized by this war, by October 7th, and by this don't trust the ground you walk on. And so you don't trust the world anymore. They don't trust, they lost the ability to trust tomorrow. They lost the optimism, the natural optimism that a character has. Just a minute, the dog wants to go out and sorry. So the
oh,
basic thing is that you feel that you walk in the world and the world you're safe in the world and you go and you live and this primer thing, this essential thing was taken away from uh, people. No. I'm sorry. So I
what's your husband's
want
name? What's your
Ziv. It
husband's
means Ziv. It
Zin?
means light, light,
Ah,
light. And then his surname is Heart, Lev. So when I married him, we are joy and light heart.
beautiful.
It's a celebration. We
Yeah,
go out and having fun. And he's a wonderful man. I spoke about his actions for disabled children, his nonprofit action when he builds cars. He's wonderful. So about Israel, so people are traumatized. They lost the ability to trust the world, to trust tomorrow, to trust that there can be something other than bloodshed and war and cruelty, and that they have to shield themselves. October 7th, they took everything, and then the 2 years of this psychological torture. Where will they go out? The Hamas will they let them? And they used the psychological terror when they released clips of the people, like someone digging its own grave, like someone who's very a hostage digging his own grave, and he's saying, "Please rescue me. I'm going to lie here and die." And so they directed these clips, and people saw them. And when the time came to let go and to accept that something is going to change, I knew that this is of course, this will happen because it's the logical thing that happens. Trump came and it's 2 years and everything was ripe for it to happen. So I knew it will happen, but people could not accept it. And then I saw how deep the hurt is and how the country will have to rebuild this trust. Uh, it's hard, but it's interesting for a character to be like my character can help people in these trying times when, like, there's a rocket attack and there's a siren. She is not afraid. She cannot be afraid. So she knows there is no death. So even if the rocket will fall on her head, it doesn't matter. So she can stay calm, and she can always bring the like calmness to the thing, and so balance when it's balanced, when you see things as they are and not adding more fear to the situations. Jewish people, I mean, the character is a Jewish woman. She was raised in an Orthodox, like a house that people went to the synagogue. My brother is a cantor in the synagogue, and I know all the rituals, all the prayers, all the holidays. As a person, I have ultra Orthodox family in Jerusalem, so I know what is God. And when before the shift, Simcha was um, she believed that the Jewish people are above the other nations, that they are special because they are so small, as a small nation and talented nation. And of course, it's true, we are small, we are very small, we are very persecuted, talented, but they are not better than other nations or people because simply because they are not different from them. So Israel basically is, for me, it's like uh, the preview to the show that the entire world will see in the coming years in the fight against radical Islam. Religion in the wrong hands is just the worst thing that can happen to humanity, and radical Islam and Sharia laws and the terror is the worst thing that can happen to this world. Oppressing of women, oppressing of LGBT communities, death, terror, and this all is an aspiration of this radical Islam, and we fight it now. This is a preview. I hope we win. I hope the world will be an enlightened place, and religion will be what it's supposed to be, something full of love, acceptance, equality, not a tool in the name of God to do unimaginably cruel and unholy actions. The opposite of God is radical Islam. The opposite of what they want to connect to God, they want to work, but it's not the way.
So a beautiful conversation you had, Simcha, with the
Iman.
yeah, about religion. And this conversation ended also with a beautiful part where you were very briefly talking about that your awakening is for the awakens the whole world. I don't know exactly how you phrased it, but could you go deeper into that? How the awakening of Simcha awakens all of us? Yeah, I'm curious
Yeah.
about that.
I mentioned a little bit earlier. So when I spoke about when you reach your full potential, you basically reach the full potential of the entire thing, the moon and the stars and the and everything and all the countries and the polar bears. When you reach your full potential, the entire thing reaches its fullest potential, and then the game is over. You realize yourself, timeline, and nothing happens from this point. It returns to this basic, unmoving, blessed ecstasy and silence. This is the process. It happens when an different identifying character, like someone who identifies itself as a character, reaches the state. Have to go through the understanding has to go through something, and so it goes through the character. In Simcha's case, it went through Simcha's case, Simcha's character. But of course, the only thing that was Simcha's character, just as the only thing that is Anya's character and Joseph's character and everyone's who is listening to us character, because it's the only point of view that you can perceive. It is the only point of view of the entire thing. The entire thing perceives itself through countless points of view. None of them are of someone. It's just an expression of point of view. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I'm sorry, I'm trying. But bear with me. It's it's kind of tricky because the thing itself that identifies itself as a character is the entire thing. So, but when I say that, you can see, okay, only Simcha is the entire thing, and I am part of the entire thing that she is. No, because we are one. So you are the entire thing also. And when one part of the entire thing knows itself, the entire thing knows itself because there is no difference between the thing and itself and you and me and it. So in the story, you still don't know and you play a part like you live in Kansas. It's weird because I have the poster and maybe you'll go home. But it's only an illusion of someone living in Kansas and someone living in Israel, and there's a screen, and she's talking like a woman. She's a software, his glasses, all so many parameters, and Anya's in Holland, in Europe. And basically, there is no difference between the three of us. And so, because this imagined character is awake, these imagined characters are awake with it. We are the same. They don't realize it, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if they know it, don't know it, what they are, because they are not what they think they are. Because it doesn't matter that you don't understand it because you do not need to understand it because the very uh, need to know creates the character. I need to know. Anya needs to know. It it locks the character within itself. This is the lock. And when you know this freedom of the character from itself, this is why, as long as this is why it doesn't matter if the entire thing doesn't know, doesn't realize what it is, because it does know. This thing knows, so this thing is you, so it knows. It plays a part. It's funny. This is what appears to be happening in an expression, and in the game now, the character says, "Okay, if you want to know, reach your full potential, express this holy thing in your life, and break the barrier. Be the best version of yourself, lift the thing from yourself in the story, in your story." This is what why I said when you cannot. imagine one thing. You have like, I don't know, when there's one thing and inside it, it's like a switch. You cannot other parts of it not know because there are no other parts in one. There are no other parts to know. There is only one thing. You have to be very, it's more than a slogan, oneness. It's really a description of the thing itself. It's a one thing, and when one thing knows itself, one thing knows itself. There are no parts of it that doesn't know themselves. Can play the game, doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I have water here.
So Freddie Mercury was right, huh? Nothing really matters.
Anyone can
Bohemian
see.
Rhapsody, anyone can see. Beautiful.
Oh,
That,
music. They say the truth in music so many times. It's so beautiful. I love it. And my enlightenment, Simcha's moment, was through music, through a song, through lyrics and I don't know, how do you say, song and the lyrics and the music? How do you say
mhm,
the word that is the music of the
that's right. The
song?
lyrics and the music.
Lyrics
This,
and music,
yeah,
a tune maybe. So it
Maybe you could
happened.
tell,
Yeah.
maybe you could share that story with us because it's such an amazing how everything came together when you were driving in your car with the music and
Yeah. It's really was something that for the character, perfect. Perfect compassion of the thing to itself, like someone who knows himself so much. Like if there's someone who loves you and knows you very much, and he knows that you like this kind of flower or this kind of, he will do everything that he can to make the experience because he knows you better than anyone. So the thing itself knew me. I knew me. Simcha knew herself. So the setting of the moment was the perfect setting that was for her, that she will not freak out, or of course she wouldn't because she was so ready, but anyway, it was perfect. So it will also be beautiful. And so we talked about that Simcha had a trying week, and most of it was sad because my friend, a very good friend of mine, lost her daughter. The daughter was 22 years old. No one knew really what happened to her. It was like mystery. And we waited for the corpse to come and to bury her. It was so emotional. I knew this child ever since she was 8. And I also directed an event of someone I knew that died, and it was like in his memory, 1 month, and people acting. He was very active in the cultural world, so I had to people sang songs and acted, and I was like directing. And my daughter's bat mitzvah, it's a great celebration. We had to go to buy the dress for her, for me, for the children, to make the decorations and food, and my family, and everything was happening simultaneously. And she was walking from the graveyard where she escorted her friend to choose the grave path of the daughter. It's a sad mission. It's a very sad mission, and to and from that to her house and to look like that, and oh, what, these shoes don't go with this, and you have to, and I also made a film, and for the celebration I had to edit it in. It was so hectic. It was so intensive, and she did that wonderfully. Simcha did that wonderfully. She moved through everything and she helped, and she didn't think about herself. She didn't have time to suffer her usual suffering about. She didn't have time to suffer. It was so intense. Because every second that you have time, you suffer. She didn't have time to suffer. She only had to serve and serve and serve and serve. Service is great. And so after everything was done and this week ended in Friday in the big event, you saw Ziv, he made a big event and the children drove the cars, special children, they can move only the finger and they drive and the people crying and clapping and the mothers cry and everyone. It's so emotional, beautiful, beautiful. And my husband crying and my children, everyone was crying. And everything was so beautifully humanity. Simcha went to visit her brother, and he's kind of like the nature, and we went to hike. And she told him everything, like half hour. We are talking about an hour now. 3.5 hours talked about everything, every smallest detail, the smallest detail. He didn't say a word. They walked in the saw the trees and she spoke and she told and she bragged that she did that and she could uh, she was very proud of her actions. And he said, oh, it sounds so hard. And she said, no, it was beautiful. It was sad and beautiful. It was sad and beautiful. And after she told him everything, it was 5 in the afternoon, 5, when the sun was setting. She got in her old Jeep. It's like, it's like, it's not, everything in her life is not very smooth. It's always very interesting. You can see if it starts. She started it and she drove, and the road was empty and beautiful, beautiful. And she always, this time when the sun sets, Simcha likes to go out. Just when the sun is setting, it's a magic hour. No matter where she is, she wants to see the world in these colors. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Why not? And it was so beautiful. And she could not think about anything. And so it's not that the thoughts stopped. It's just that she didn't need to process anything. And she didn't have to plan anything because she already did everything. She did everything. She did all the planning. She did all her work was done. Was done. She could, like, when you clean the house and you sit with your coffee, she could just sit in the car, and she knew in her house all her family was there, like my brothers, my sisters, and my, because of the celebration they stayed in Sabbath and we made food and they were waiting for me to come. uh, and I had to go to clean the place where we made the event. So I had many chores. But that moment, nothing, just sitting in the car, relaxing. I already talked about it. I don't need to even process it again and think, oh, it was so beautiful when, no, I told it. So I could just uh, relax. And this is when I drove in a beautiful road, sunset, the eucalyptus trees on the side of the road. And then the song started on the radio, and it was in Hebrew. And I knew it by heart because I knew it from the time I was a child. I knew the song. I loved the song. The singer was reminding me of my uncle that I loved. And the lyrics of this, and so in the moment the song started in the radio, I put it in my description when people to hear it. It starts with a big, like a musical entrance, very dramatic musical entrance. So it just like got the character, just got in the music. Uh, the first verse, something strange started to happen in this driving, at the quietness that now is me, and then was not familiar. She didn't know what it was. She just knew it wasn't something she knows anything about, but it is surrounding or holding, or something is happening, but she had no will to fight it, or it was just quietness. And then it got stronger. The quietness was intensifying. Um, he was driving, and the song became the just she could only hear the song. Everything else vanished. The lyrics of the songs said what was happening. A white car was these are the words of the song. A white car is driving down the road, and she was in the white car. And the eucalyptus trees hide it. And the eucalyptus trees was when she was driving, this was what happening. And she didn't even think, okay, this is happening. It was now I can say that this was happening. It was the perfect sync, like the clock was not synced, and then the uh, until there was a clock, it was not working, and it had to be really synced to the right time for it to start working. So this was the last movement of the dial, and so the quietness became stronger, and there was something, not a voice, but something that was saying or stating, don't stop this thing, don't stop whatever it is, like you can take it, you can handle it. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Trust yourself. Don't try to stop this. I don't think she could have stopped this thing from happening, but it really was very compassionate. Um, it, like Belle, don't. It's okay. It's okay. Don't stop this thing. It's okay. You are going. Whatever it is, it's fine. Uh, and just let it. And it's very brave what she did to let it. Uh, and it's not something she usually did because she was very guardian and very, jumping. If something is not familiar, if something very, very weird happens to you, you will not react and just, okay, let it happen. No, you will just try to see what's happening and then you will lose it. But she didn't, fortunately. And I think she was so ready, and this thing wanted it to know itself. So this was the first verse, and then the chorus came, and the chorus said, "Do you remember we were there like we were in a movie?" This is the lyrics, wonderful lyrics, and it's sung about movies. It's something about because Simcha studied filmmaking, it's also connected to the thing. But then when the chorus, this first line was said, she became the line itself. The transformation was complete. The end moment has happened. It's like a big bang. It's like a big um, I don't know how to describe the intensity of the end moment, the change when it comes from a different place. You were in the world, you were a person in the world driving a car, and and you are not, and it happens, and it's not, and nothing is what it was, and it's so easy and natural, and it happened spontaneously and effortlessly, like an enormous. You cannot imagine the energy of the transformation, but it is the thing itself that is now. So now it's used to be disguised as a character and just walk around in the world. Then it was just the revelation that you're not a body, you're not nothing. It's everything being known in the same moment. And it's a very special, cannot call it a memory because it never happened and there is no timeline. But it's a very nice story for someone to hear or to tell and for you to know.
I think in um, your interview with Angelo, you referred to it as the grand prize. You won the grand prize that you didn't know was what's a grand prize.
Wow,
But
I'm so impressed by you too. You really You really
Well,
listen to me. I'm so appreciative of it. It's beautiful. Yes, it is the grand prize. I didn't know you can win it. I didn't know. Simcha didn't know. If she knew, maybe she would look for it. Maybe it's worth looking for it. But she didn't know it's a possibility. It's a wonderful, 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 wonderful thing. And if it happened to this character, who is she? Why is she? She's not so special. I can tell you. She's not amazingly talented or something. She's just very plain and very like trusting the process. Trust. She didn't. It's not like she trusted God. Yes, she did before the Swift, but the God of the Jews. But she trusted that she can. She trusted herself to continue, to believe in herself, to believe in what she's doing. Uh, and this is, I think, this naivety uh, brought her in simplicity. And so it can happen to everyone. And I think it happened to Nisargadatta the same way of just believing or just trusting the thing, trusting that this is real. His master told him this is real, and so he said, okay, it's real. And so Simcha didn't have a master that will tell her that this is a possibility, but she trusted, of course.
yeah,
I see we have 10 more minutes. I don't
Yeah,
know how long did you plan to do this encounter,
yeah,
and I don't know who is here, so what?
yeah. We have till well 10 more minutes. So maybe if someone in the sanctuary has a question and wants to raise their hand, that we could have some time to answer questions. Well, not many, but maybe one or two. If someone has, I don't see any hands yet.
Okay.
there's
Or otherwise, Joe, you.
yeah, there's one thing I would like um, to highlight, and that's in that story that didn't happen to Simca, the character that never was, right? Um, but but when the song was playing, you were in the car. The song was about the white car, the eucalyptus trees, and then it's you remember we were in a movie, and then at some point in there, you said it was effortless. However, you didn't try to figure it out. You didn't go to mentally trying to figure it out what was going on. Is that correct? And that's kind of what I heard you saying. Is that when you heard or felt don't fight this or don't try to stop this, is that how that played out just by not mentally trying to?
Yeah, you have to understand it's like nothing you ever experienced as a human being. This one moment when the song started, the rules of the game changed. Something something that is so unfamiliar, and now this I know that this is what is real, and the entire thing was the illusion. But when the song started, it was the moment of this shift in perception of the thing of itself, but it plays in different kind of set of rules. So when the song started, it was very dramatic that something is going on. So I stated that she was empty from the character's psychological inner chatter that always people only when this lift of the character is lifted from the thing, you realize the insanity of the inside chatter that attacks you all the time. It's unbelievable the chatter, what it does to you. It doesn't matter that it exists, of course, but what it does to the character and how he acts through this chatter. The chatter is terrible. So the chatter was it wasn't because she was empty, because she really did um, did everything up until that point to clear the desk, to clear the like, blank, so it could happen. And you enter a car and you're a person, you're 45 years old and you are a woman and you start to drive and throughout this transformation, she continued to drive, of course, and obey the lights and and it's like driving through a heart attack combined with I don't know to what um how can I describe how crazy it was uh, for if someone is not prepared for it or someone has a connection to themselves or fear. It can look like you are going to die. It can look like you are going to crazy. Something is dramatically weird, different. Something is going on, and you're crazy if you trust this process. The thing is, she did trust the process. And she was so relaxed because the song was so beautiful. This was her song, everything. Why shouldn't she trust this beautiful song she knows by heart? It caresses her. She loves music. She loves cinema. She's sitting in the favorite time of her the day, beautiful colors, and no one is sitting beside her to disturb this moment. She doesn't have to speak to her husband, to her children, to her friends. No one is there. She is alone. She can. She. It's her moment. It's everything. So even though it was dramatically crazy and unfamiliar and weird and different for everything you can possibly conceive as reality, as is this reality, as is this thing that she is now, the emptiness that is her and you, and the thing that is happening now. And as crazy as it was, she accepted it, and there was no mental. There was no objection to the process. When the thing says don't start, try to stop this, it was not before because she did try to stop it. It reassured someone who didn't need reassurance. It calmed someone who didn't need this calmness because it already trusted this process. Why do I care after this week and who I am and what is happening? And I trust myself so much. I love myself so much. It's okay. Okay, I did everything okay. I'm a good person, I'm a moral person, and whatever happens, I can cope with it. It's okay. Uh, and it's not known, but what? Why not? Does all life have to be something you know? So what if it's something you can't imagine? So what it's very, 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 very crazy and not known. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I want to see something. Maybe I'm not scared. It's interesting, and it was like even playful. Okay, let's see what this is. It's like an adventure. So there was no psychological struggle or convincing, or it was just like a ripe fruit falling from the tree. It doesn't need any help. It's ready. It's happy. It's willing. Just eat it.
And I think I also heard you share somewhere that you came home and you didn't talk about it. Is that true or
And I
how did,
didn't talk about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he wants to hear the end of the conversation.
I'm hungry.
He's hungry. He
Okay.
wants his dinner.
You
Uh,
won't be enlightened if you talk in the internet all day. You need to do things, not just listen to one each other.
I said
It's not gonna take you anywhere.
I seldom do that, so it's okay
Do
to
that.
do that in the lives.
Okay, dinner is ready. Are you coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a minute.
Yeah.
He's not in this thing. He's not into this thing. It doesn't. It's. He says it doesn't matter what you think or what you believe or what you. It's only what you do, what you act with your hands. He believes in acting, and this is why we are so compatible. Because I also think that you can pray and pray and pray, and it will not replace a single action that you do with your hands, a kind action that you do. If you give someone a glass of water, it's greater than all prayers you can pray for him. Uh, this for me is the best thing I can describe. So I didn't talk about it because there was no need to talk about it. Uh, Things were so yet so I needed to act. I needed to be a mother. I needed to be a friend. I needed so, and you don't need to talk about it. You don't need to persuade other people, and you don't need to show it, and you don't. Nothing really happened. Doesn't matter, and it's like just a different kind of knowing of what is different ability to help. And as I said, it was kind of like Simcha before because she did help, but without the suffering. She helped and she suffered, and now she can help and not suffer. I think this is why it happened because she's so nice to help people, and why suffer throughout the giving. So it's like I played so nice. It's a grand prize. It's nice. Do what you do, and I'll make it easier for you to do this hard work that you do for others. And this is the for me in the illusion what she does. And still, this is why I don't want to advise people. Of course, I can tell them well, like a friend if you do that or that. It's like sometimes you as a friend give advice, but not from the spiritual point of view because people need to make the moral decisions and they have to be very independent in their thoughts. This is what I want for everyone to be independent in their thoughts, to be free, to make their own decisions, their own way, because only their own way, brave, independent way, will take them to their destination, which is unique, which is unique.
Beautiful,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
beautiful,
for that.
beautiful way to.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for inviting me here and listening to this a little bit. No,
Yeah,
it's like it's when you start to explain this and you have to explain this and this and this, and then it becomes so complicated and so simple. But you had the patience to listen to me and try to understand. And I'm really grateful for that, for you to try to understand, because basically you're trying to understand yourself through the expression of someone like me. And I hope, the weirdness of the character and the Israeli part and the bluntness will shake something and make it more close to wherever it is.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simcha. And it was a great honor having you here. And I'll hand it over to Marisol. She can.
Hi, Marisol.
Hi. Thank you so much, Simka. I hope I pronounced your name correctly now. We were honored to have you as our guests. And thank you, Anya and Joseph, for doing such an amazing job interviewing. For more information on our non-dual community and the free resources we provide, we invite you to visit our website at awakening-together.org. And we hope you enjoy the satsang and hope to see you live in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.